Oh, no.
What's up, love? Are you having trouble?
These stockings, just look at that.
I should take them back to the shop right away. I know all about shops, I do. Where's that flaming paper boy? The one night when there's something interesting in the paper and he's missing.
What do you mean?
And you heard we're in it tonight. Where have you been all day?
Oh, you didn't see the paper, boy. I want to know what's on the town pictures.
You'll find out more than that when you get the paper, love. We're in it tonight.
What?
Where have you been?
I haven't a clue.
Oh, there's a queue here. Yeah, love, here's yours.
Oh, here's your curtains.
Oh, give over. Won't start for threatening.
Oh, that.
Let's see. Big jewel robbery. That's not it. More trouble for the north. Here it is.
That is?
No, I think is it tech? They're on about coal again.
Oh, look, there it is. There's his picture.
All right, there's no need to shout down my hero. I can hear you.
Ex-student slams neighbours.
Well, is that all it is? That little bit? Well, if they're going to get it all in about me, they'll have to serialise it, won't they? Ta-ra, love.
I'll make it 5:30, Jack. No, don't bother. I'll go. Now, don't read that now, love. Finish your stacking first. You can read the paper afterwards.
Although you said there was no time for paper.
I said not for you there wasn't. In any case, I'm only glancing at the gardening notes.
Well, see if they can recommend out for a 2-foot window box with note in it but soot.
There you are. You might as well have it. It's marrows today.
Hey, the dead legs. Went down 4-3 and they were winning 2-0 at half-time.
How very interesting.
Oh. Hey, this chap's a spitting image. By gum, it is him.
Who?
Kenneth Barlow. Oh, and they're writing about him and all.
What's he doing in the papers?
Why is it?
Nothing happened to the lad, is there?
Not yet, it hasn't. Just listen to this. Ex-student slams neighbours. Kenneth Barlow, 24-year-old schoolmaster of 3 Coronation Street, jeered at the simple pleasures of his homely neighbours in a scathing 2,000-word attack in the left-wing political review Survival. Summing up the attitude...
Summing up the attitude of the people he lives and works among, Barlow described them as lazy-minded, politically ignorant, starved of a real culture, and stubbornly prejudiced against any advance in human insight and scientific progress.
Oh, gum, there's some fancy words there, but it's strong stuff, there's no doubt about that.
Well, it doesn't apply to us, Jack, and I'm sure he never intended it to.
We're neighbours of his, aren't we?
I love, but there are neighbours and neighbours. Now, Kenneth Barlow is a very nice class of boy, and I shouldn't be surprised if there isn't a great deal of truth in what he says. A great deal. Left wing, eh? Must say I'm surprised at that.
How'd they go on then, Jack?
Oh, went down 4-3. Hey, there's something else in paper. Just listen to this. This'll pin your ears back for you. Ex-student slams neighbours.
We've had them pinned back. Aye, we have, I know.
You've read it, then?
No, your son and a million others.
Hey, I hadn't thought about that.
He always was a clever boy.
You're downside too clever, if you ask me. You know, I don't know much about it, but I reckon we could take him to court for that. There's one thing I'd like to do, take him outside and beat the living ruddy daylights out of him. You know what would have happened in the old days, don't it? He would have been tarred and feathered, no questions.
Watch it.
I should think so, indeed. I'm surprised at you.
Well, good heavens above. Hey, have you seen this, Albert? You're a pal of his, aren't you?
Well, just because I'm a pal of his, it doesn't mean I agree with everything he says. But I haven't said I don't mind.
How do you mean, Albert?
Well, what I mean is, when you're young, you have ideas. I did myself once, Harry.
Funny flaming ideas, if you like. Have you read this bit here?
Now, look, Len.
It's no secret, believe me, Albert. While the British Empire bursts open at the seams, the young people collect in shadowy coffee bars to discuss the latest discs. The middle-aged are hunched complacently over their television sets, and the elderly sit, half-starved and shivering, in damp terrace boxes. So the inhabitants of my area face up to the challenge of what could well be the twilight of the human race. I'd like to let a bit of blinking twilight into him, I'm not kidding you.
He hasn't pulled any punches, has he?
No, and neither will I, either.
Good evening.
Hello, Martha. Love. Hey, have you seen this? Do you feel like a new age pauper who gets their sustenance not from food, but from beer?
I beg your pardon?
Here, take it home and read it, and when you've read it, burn it. Give us a couple of pints, Jack. When I think of that young so-and-so still wet behind the flaming ears, you know, it...
Hey, who's he talking about?
You live round here, don't you?
Of course I do.
Talking about you, then.
Well, the cheeky young devil. Just you wait till I tell Ena.
Oh, that evening paper, Dad?
Aye, and you can keep your hands off it, lad. I haven't read it myself yet, and I don't want it wetting through either. Hey, hang on a minute, lad. How do you expect me to get my tackle out?
Oh, don't tell me you're having a shave.
Well, why not? There'll be a job less to do in the morning. Now, come on, move yourself over, lad. Come on, Ken, get a move on. Book your ideas up, lad, while I get myself lathered.
Could be yesterday's or tomorrow's.
Well, it's neither, lad. It's today's. And just you leave it where it is. Look, and don't leave all that water running away. Come on, Ken, get a move on, lad. Look, if you get your nose stuck in this paper, I shall be waiting for that mirror all night. Funny name, you know that, for a magazine, Survival.
Yeah. Yeah, I better book up my bath again, Cole.
Where you going somewhere, then?
Yeah, out.
Oh, I with.
Nobody will know.
I wish you'd mentioned something about it before, lad.
What? Oh, you mean the article? Well, you know it is. I didn't want to say anything in case it didn't come off. I didn't want everyone round here to know about it.
Well, I'll keep my mouth shut, lad. I'll promise you that.
Oh, you know I didn't mean that. They might ask me to follow it up with another article.
Oh, I don't know about that, lad. I should tread carefully if I were you, Ken. We don't want to get everyone's back up, you know.
Dad, I've already told you, nobody round here is going to read a magazine like Survival.
Oh, hey, come on with that mirror. Hey, what's that stuff, Ken, lad?
After shave, want to try it?
Not likely. Here, how much do you say they paid you for that?
25 guineas.
Ah, oh, well, that's better than their punch on the snout, isn't it?
It's not just the money, Dad.
Oh, damn, I've nicked myself. Oh.
Dad, could you bring the evening paper back with you? I want to read it in the bath.
Well, he's always been very polite to me, which is more than I can say for some people.
You're not sticking up for him, are you?
Well, I'm not saying that, but I'm not running him down either. I shouldn't be surprised if there isn't a great deal of truth in that article.
Annie, that's not the point.
Well, what is the point in? A fat lot of good you've ever done for the starving people of Asia, I must say. You're always too busy looking after your own comfort.
Yes, me young Lord Barlow wants some of those fancy flaming ideas knocking out of his head. That's my opinion for what it's worth.
Now, look, you don't want to take it so seriously, Len. It's not but a 9 days wonder. And besides, he hasn't had the experience in life that we've had.
Look, he's over 21, isn't he? He ought to be able to face up to his responsibilities.
I've had enough of this debate. It's getting a bit too hot for me.
Well, he's made us a right laughing stock round here anyway.
I don't think he likes us. Have you ever noticed the way he smiles and narrows his eyes?
Yeah, that's the kind of a bloke he is. He's got no time for himself, never mind other people.
Frank? Ken? Anybody at home?
Oh, there you are, Albert. Come on up, lad.
Oh, blast, I'm still bleeding like a pig. Oh, oh you've seen it then? Hey, seen what? Hey, give us a bit of that paper, will you, Albert? Ah, thanks, Len. Where's Ken? Ken is here in Batland. Oh, hello, Ken, lad. I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
It's all right, Mr. Flatlock, I'm not shy.
Here, Len were asking me that I read something. Oh, yes. Hey, well, come on, let's get this door closed, shall we? This lad's going to get his death. Look. Go on. If only that I just didn't want Ken to hear.
Hear what?
You haven't read it, then?
No,
Well, that's what I've been trying to tell you. It's about these articles that your Ken's been writing. What the heck? And now I wanted to tell you before anybody else did.
Oh, that stupid young idiot. Look, how did this get in here?
Oh, well, it's not Ken's fault. You know what newspapers are like when it comes to making things up.
If you no collapse tomorrow, the regulars would still gather in the local pubs, swill beer, throw darts and discuss the usual topics. The quality of the bitter, the prospect for the 315 and the latest scandal from their own little corner of our smouldering national compost heap. And then, look, everyone's going to see this, you know, it'll be in all papers. I suppose he calls this giving us a pat on the back.
Yes, well, that lad has gone a little bit far, Frank, but you know you've got to keep a sense of proportion.
Nay, Albert, don't tell me you believe in this muck.
Oh, I don't rightly know. I know when I was his age, I thought pretty much the same way. I used to blast at the bosses all the time. Mind you, I was very careful who were listening.
They're going to change his tune before I finish with
Now,
it.
look, Frank, go easy with
That
him.
meddling young...
Oh, well,
I suppose it'll come all right, it was.
You've done it. You've done it, haven't you? You've done it this time, haven't you?
Got stuck or something?
Go on, look. Go on, look. Read it. You wrote it. Well, really well read it.
What's he on about?
This is what I'm on about.
Well, perhaps you just give it to me. I'll find out.
I hope you realise what harm you've done. It's not going to be easy to live this lot down, you know. Quite a lot of silly muck about the neighbours. I thought you said they weren't going to get the chance to read what you wrote. Well, you've gone and done it this time, haven't you?
Look, Dad, I'm just as surprised as you are. I never knew the papers to get hold of it. They've twisted everything anyway.
You're doing me a lot of harm in this street. You know that, don't you?
Can you chuck me that other towel over, Dad? Now, what harm am I doing you?
I'll tell you what harm you're doing. You're putting the old neighbourhood up against me. That's what
look,
you're doing.
Dad, I never intended this to get in the paper. I wrote a serious article for a serious magazine about something I believed in. And it's not my fault if some lousy evening paper goes and twists the facts.
I just don't understand your attitude.
Well,
I just don't.
Trying to explain if you'll only listen.
You're wasting your time.
Yes, I think I am wasting my time. That's what I'm on about. I'm on your side, but you can't see it. Neither can they.
A flaming funny way I have of showing it.
Look, Dad, it's not just Coronation Street. It's the same everywhere. Nobody cares. Take this town. Look at that skyscraper going up in Donkin Street. 2 million quid's worth of glass palace. And the universe has been struggling for years to raise a few thousand for a new physics lab.
I know all about
they give
that.
you a few pretty toys like cars and dishwashers and tellies and take away everything that's worth living for.
Well, I wish I could have television and a
turn it
dishwasher
into a
and a
rat
car,
all
you're
because the
damn
council
soft.
wouldn't fork out a mouldy 1,000 quid. It's the same in Bessie Street. That place was condemned before the war. And the last time anyone can remember having a new coat of paint was when some stupid nit came down from the ministry. And nobody gets up and shouts about it. Why? Because they're all too busy watching the telly and filling the football pool. Get what I mean?
Credit me with some sense, won't you? Of course I know what you mean. But I'll still tell you what, consider the feelings of ordinary, decent people before you start dragging your noses in the dirt. Just about finished listening to you. Your mother and me slaved all our lives to keep you at school. Not that I'm minding that, mind you. But look what, it's all wasted. Look, you get a decent job and you don't hold it for 5 minutes. What happens? You chuck it away. And a job with promotion and prospects too. For what? Just so you can go and be a schoolmaster, trying to din a lot of brains into a lot of snotty nose.
Now, look, Dad.
I may not be very brainy, lad, but at least I've got my feet on the earth.
Yes, I'll give you that. Look where it's got you.
Now, you be careful what you're saying.
Look, the only type of books you ever read are cheap westerns from the library. And the only recreation you get is jugging up at the Rovers, moaning about the weather and churning over the local gossip with the rest of the old women in the street. I suppose you call that living it up.
Now, just a minute, lad, just a minute. Look, if you're going to start getting...
Forget it. Chuck me tie over with.
Forget
Anyway,
it.
who started this?
Forget it. After what you just said to me, now you're going to listen to me for a change. I've got something to tell you, lad. Look, I've lived the best part of my life on a street like this, and I've always been able to hold my head up, and I've always been respected, what's more. And during last war, I served 4 years in the army. That's right. Go on, have a good laugh. Go on.
Your war has got nothing to do with it.
Just let me finish, will you? Look, I don't profess to be brainy or out like that, but I've always believed in an old-fashioned sense of loyalty. Oh, I know it's not supposed to be very popular these days, but it's lasted me for a long time, and I'm too old to change now. There's not wrong, you know, in being loyal to your own class.
Oh, Dad, for heaven's sake, as if I'm not. Look, all right. You stick to your opinions, and I'll stick to mine, okay? No, I'm going out.
And I'm going to tell you something, too. Whilst you're under my roof, I don't want to hear those articles mentioned again. And if they should ask you to write any more, you're going to refuse point blank.
Now, you listen to me. If that magazine want any more articles on me, they'll get them. And if you and Coronation Street don't like it, you know what the answer is.
Oh, I'm sorry, Frank. I thought he was still upstairs.
Oh, that's all right, Albert. I'll just tell him a few home truths.
Well, I'll just pop round front row, as it's pretty hot in there. I shouldn't bother going round tonight if I were you.
Well, that's just Kenneth Barlow's opinion. Who's going to take any notice of a young nit like that?
Yeah, but it's down here in black and white. You can't ignore it, can you? What he says here amounts to calling us a shower of ignorant yobs, doesn't it? And I don't stand that from anybody.
Yeah, there's not much we can do about it, though, unless one of us writes to the paper.
Ah, what good would that do? Any young juggins who's been to university, paid for by you and me, mind you, they take notice of him. Oh, but no, not us, no. We're not civilised. We haven't lived yet.
Well, look, if you'd like to go into the snug, Mrs. Longhurst, to bring in your usual.
Oh, I'd rather have it in here if you don't mind. I won't be in the way up there, will I?
No, of course not. Thank you.
Hello.
Ali,
Yeah?
that's not a bad idea, writing to papers. They might shove it in if it was signed by everybody
Well, it
involved.
might be worth trying. At least there'd be no harm in it, would there? Here, have you got a piece of paper, Jack?
Well, I haven't got anything decent.
No, it doesn't matter. Anything, Lou.
Hey, but, There's a price list here. You can scribble on the back of that.
Yeah.
Hey, don't take any notice of them squiggles. It's just Annie's arithmetic.
Right, well, it's just for roughing it out, like. Dear sir, my attention has been drawn... Oh, no, that won't do.
Have you ever heard such a fuss about nothing?
I know. I wish Harry wasn't so fussed about it.
Well, I've read some of it, and I don't intend to read any more. Do you know what I think, Concepta? No. I think it's all miles above the heads. As far as I'm concerned, Kenneth's a very nice boy, even if he has got a serious sort of disposition.
Dear sir... Here, how's it sound, then? Dear sir, I would like to reply to the allegations... make that monstrous allegations,
that's better.
Monstrous allegations contained in the article by Kenneth Barlow, which in our considered opinion amounted to a
load of flaming piffle.
What do you mean, a load of flaming piffle?
Oh, tear it up, Harry. Throw it away. What's the good?
Ah, get all the paper. Read it out to me, will you, lad? I've forgotten how it goes.
If I'm going to read any more of that trash, I might do something I'm sorry for, believe me.
Well, can you make him see sense, Mr. Tassel?
You see what I mean, don't you? It's always his father that's got to see sense.
Well, now where are you going?
I'm going down to Rovers to swill beer and listen to local gossip. That's if you've got no objections.
Nay, I shouldn't bring that if I were you. Not tonight at any road. Here, I'll tell you what. We'll go round at Flying Horse.
No one's going to stop me going to the Rovers tonight or any other night.
Nobody's trying to stop you, Frank. It's only I didn't think you wanted to be mixed up in any unpleasantness.
Look, are you coming or aren't you?
I am coming.
Anyone at home?
Oh, it's you, Mr. Turner. Come in.
I don't really want to stop. I just popped round to let you know how things were. Look, Ken, they're all on about that article you wrote.
Yes, I know. So they tell me. What are they saying about
Well,
it?
some of the things I wouldn't like to repeat, but I gather they're not all that keen.
What do you think about it?
Oh, me, I never believe after reading the papers, except my stars. I don't really believe in them either. I just like to know what's going on round the corner. If you really want to know, I think it was very well written. And I think you're going to be famous one of these days. Look, love, don't you take any notice of anything that lot say. They're just jealous, that's all. I just came round to tell you because... Well, you know what Len Fairclough's like when he's had one or two.
I don't want to think I committed a crime. I thought there was supposed to be free speech in this country.
There's nothing free in this world, love, and don't I know it. Ta-ra.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you try your hand at one of them love stories? Something romantic. I'm sure you could. You must have had experience. A nice-looking fellow like you know. Look, if I see anybody, I'll say that you were sorry and that it's all a mistake and you didn't think they'd take it personally.
No, I'm afraid you can't say that, Mrs. Turner, because I'm not sorry at all. In fact, I've never done anything in my life I'm less sorry for.
Look, you've only got to say it, you dope. You don't have to mean it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't do that. Thanks for coming, anyway.
Suit yourself. Cheerio, Ken.
Cheerio.
Oh, hello, Len. Bit parky tonight, isn't it?
Where's Brideport tonight, then? Ain't he coming out?
I don't get you.
Don't give us that, you know what I'm talking about. The angry young man, where is he? Hiding up the wall or something?
Well, I don't know, do I? I'm not his keeper.
Shall I tell you where he is? He's up in your house, isn't he? Hiding behind the door. I'll tell you one thing about your son, Frank Barlow. He might be a walking flaming dictionary, but he hasn't got the guts of a louse.
Now, look here, it's all right, Albert. I can handle
What's
this.
the matter, aren't they? Oh, no, excuse me.
Would you mind repeating what you just said? I don't think I caught you the first time.
I said your son hasn't got the guts of a louse.
Look, I'm not going to stand here and have my own family insulted to my face, you know.
Insulted? I like that. Have you seen the evening paper tonight?
Yes, I've seen it.
Then you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Look, I've got nothing against you, Frank, but I don't like being insulted either.
I don't worry about your likes and your dislikes. All I want is an apology for what you've just said.
Now, look, I think you've both got things out of proportion.
What are you talking about, an apology? What are you on about? You'll get no apology out of me if you stand there till next Christmas,
Oh,
mate.
well, we'll see about that, won't we?
Oh, you're gonna see about that? Then what are you gonna do about it, then?
Jack.
Well, go on,
Can you come and give us hands for a minute? That's Len and Frank out here. You're going to have a bundle if we don't stop them.
Oh, dear, surely they're not going to have a fight outside my front door. That's one thing I won't stand for. Come and have a look, Mrs. Walker. I will not. It's very common.
Well, Henry, drinking again to you, mate. Oh, that's not on you anyhow. See me shoot his gob off again. You better watch it, mate.
Come on if you want to finish it. Come on.
Stop it, Frank, stop it. You're too old for this sort of lark.
One of these days, someone's going to cut that loud mouth of yours down to size.
Let somebody else do it. You don't want to get that nice coat of yours mucky, do you? Nah, come on inside and have a drink, shake hands on it.
Come on.
Oh, will you come on inside? We'll have one before we go to the flicks.
Just watch it, you watch it yourself.
Why'd you have to say that? We'll leave to the pictures of the day.
Ah, we'll only miss the news, look.
Come on, Frank, lad.
Hey, was that the side eye
tired while I were in the toilet. Have I missed so much? Oh, Ian will never forgive me.
You were better off where you were, love. It were all over before it started.
There you are, Elsie. Now then, what is it, Harry?
Oh, a couple of pints, please, Jack. Whatever you have in yourself. Oh, and one of those green things with the cherry in for Concepta.
Oh, we're lashing out tonight, aren't we? I suppose a peace offering, because we're going to be late for the pictures.
Well, I don't think we'll be going. Not tonight, love. I'd better stay and keep my eye
Oh,
on this lot.
Harry.
Right. Well, it's a good job I came along when I did. You'll half killed poor Frank.
I never touched him, mate. Only roughed him up a bit. He started shooting his mouth off and I lost me rag, that's all. I mugged away.
I feel sorry for old Frank, you know. He's had no but a load of trouble with that lad of his ever since his missus copped it.
That's right, lad. Now, then you sit down and I'll make you a cup of tea, eh?
Oh, that's all right, Albert. Don't bother yourself, lad, thanks.
It's no bother, I'll just go and put kettle on. Hey, I wonder where your Ken's got to.
I don't know. He's gone for a stroll or something, communing with himself. Hey, Albert.
What?
I wonder what it must be like, you know, to be really...
To be what?
To be really brainy.
Bit of headache sometimes, I should think.
What's been going on?
Now, to my knowledge...
Ken, would you like your cup of tea while I'm making it?
You look white. Look, Dad, if it's anything to do with me, I've a right to know. What's been happening, Mr. Tetlock?
Hey, you better ask your dad, Ken.
Well, come on, you're going to tell me.
Oh, it were now, laddie. I just had a bit of a barney with Len Fairclough outside Rovers, that's all.
Over me, I suppose.
Well, no way, yes, but it wasn't nothing much. It was more of an argument than anything else.
Well, go on, tell me what about, as if I didn't know.
No, it weren't really your fault, Ken. Hey, where are you off to?
I'm going round to the Rovers. If anyone round there's got anything to say about me or what I do or what I write, they can say it to my face.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'll be glad of a decent bit of scandal for a change. I've heard nothing but that article all night. I'll be dreaming about it.
Excuse me. I'm just going up to fill our hot water bottles, love. If I were you, I'd try and get Len Fairclough off the premises. I don't like the mood he's in at all.
All right, leave it to me, love.
I think I'll make a night of it.
That's right, lad. Sleep it off.
Just off, Mrs. Longhurst.
Oh, well, I were going, but I think I'll stop and have another one now.
Shouldn't have thought you'd have had the neck to come in here, lad.
Well, I've been told some people have got the wrong impression about my article. I came round so if I could try and clear that misunderstanding.
Nobody got the wrong impression, mate.
Now, listen, lad, I reckon we've all had about enough of this business. Why not tell them you're sorry? Say you didn't mean to hurt their feelings. I'm sure they'll be all right.
Sorry, Mr. Walker. What for? Tell him the truth.
Is this what you wrote? This in the paper?
Well, that's just a few bits taken at random. If you really want to know what I'm trying to say, why don't you buy the magazine?
Well, waste money on rubbish like that? Ah, come on, Lennon. Ignore him.
Look, son, what do you want us to do? Go and sit in the high street all day? Look, if I want to come in here for a quiet game of darts, that's got nothing to do with you and anybody else. Do you get that? There's one little thing you don't seem to understand, Kenneth Barlow. That's the fact that Harry and me was scrapping for you during the war, you know, when you were still running around in little nappies. You know, rifles and bayonets and all that kind of stuff. Well, he wouldn't understand that, would he? We had no time to write articles, did we, Harry? Yeah, I suppose you just stand there and let them all come, wouldn't you?
Oh, you'll
I
never
suppose you're
understand.
flaming pacifist and all, aren't you?
Never understand. It's not a question of that.
Look, lad, just walk to that door. Will you do us a favour? Just walk to the door, turn left and keep going till you get to the council rubbish heap and then throw yourself on it. And take that with you and all.
There's no need to get airy.
Look, what I wrote... I'm not blaming anybody in particular. I blame everybody. I blame myself. I know people don't always like the truth.
You're built up. You make me sick.
Yeah, the truth's hard to take. I don't wonder it turns your stomach.
Just watch it, mate.
All
Just
right,
watch
then,
it.
Chuck it. It's not worth it.
Look, if there's one thing wrong with Coronation Street, it's because it sometimes throws up nasty, snivelling little clever dicks like you. So belt up home and get your daddy to change your nappy before you get out.
That's just the kind of intelligent reaction I'd expect from a loud-mouthed, beer-swilling moron like you.
Say that again.
That's just the kind of...
Hey, stop that! I'm having no fighting here. Hey, stop it, will you?
All right, that's it.
Come on, home you go. You've caused enough trouble here. Go on.